What's up, Culture Club? How is everybody today? If you're in Maryland, I don't know about you in South Carolina, but if you're in Maryland, we're talking to Maryland, but we got some snow on the way, so make sure you take care of yourself. It's a lot coming. This is 21 Questions, the Culture Club edition. The biggest surprise about this show is I'm hosting. I never hosted 21 Questions before. So, everybody that really likes this segment, don't judge me. Don't judge me. Not today. That's not my segment. It's just my segment today. So, we are going to interview today Marilyn Monroe, a part of Culture Club Conversations. She's interviewed like all of us and everybody and their mama, and she hasn't had an interview of her own yet. And what she doesn't know is that I know a lot about her. I know probably the answer to all of these questions. I know the answer to questions that people asked, and that's one of the surprises today. Some people actually asked some of these questions from our email because you're very quiet. You're
Mhm.
very the low key one. You're very private. You don't really talk about your stuff. So she's not me. So it's like, run. You need us to push pause. You need to go get a drink, some popcorn, because you might miss something. I don't want you to miss it. So I
Yes.
can't really ask her questions, but her 21 questions. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna try to fill in the gap. But this is Marilyn. She know how to sell herself, so she's gonna be able to, when I ask her the questions, elaborate on some of the questions. Some of the questions will be straight up this or that. So are you ready? She been putting out promos. Are you ready? Oh, that's the question.
It's
See,
okay.
I'm not good at this. I'm
I
really
do the
not.
same
But
thing, but okay.
we about to, instead of saying that, let's go.
Let's go.
So the first question, Marilyn does this all the time. I stay with her core questions, guys. So you guys that are faithful 21 question viewers, how are you mentally?
Mentally, I am really, really good. Um, with mental health to me, because that is definitely a question, a core question that I ask. Not for this the segment, but for my friends in general, because in your term, life be life in. And a lot of times, with mental health, you don't necessarily have to inherit like mental health issues from your parents or your bloodline. And sometimes life, grief, trauma, you know, cause an effect to your mental health. So I really, really think it's important for mental health to, always check on your people. Check on the ones that seem, again, I always say this, check on the ones that seem like everything is all good and okay. Because I have been that one that people would, check in and I would be okay, but not okay. And I'm sure in some point of this questions, we'll get to that. But I'm good. Like, I think every day you should work on your mental health. And things to work on your mental health is definitely getting your rest, go to bed, sleep. Definitely, try to avoid self medicating. I am drug free and have always been drug free. I don't even like taking aspirin or Tylenol. Being mindful, always, of course, knowing when to pull away from social media because a lot of times that definitely mess with your mental health or could affect your mental health. I came up with this walk and talk therapy, so walking and talking about anything, not even, of anything of gossip, but just talking and walking is definitely a great mental health release. So mentally, I am good. I'm really good. And yeah.
Make sure y'all hear her on all social media platforms for the talk and walk if you are in her area. It's
Yes.
very interesting. Look at her page. She posts a lot about it. So,
Once the weather breaks, like, once the weather consistently breaks,
yeah.
really kind of pushing that. But right now, I'm doing other things. And yeah.
So, one of your other core questions, money, power, respect. Pick one and why.
So, I'm a against the grain type of chick. Obviously, this segment, everyone always says respect. I'm going to say money. I'm going
Okay.
to say money because a lot of us, our culture does not respect anybody without money, without them kind of having anything, or being in position to have money. As a leader, and or AKA some people call it a boss, A lot of your employees would not respect you if you weren't signing their checks. Period. Like they wouldn't even care to, wouldn't even care to like wish you a happy birthday. So a lot of times, due to the fact of being in that position and making that money, it does offer power and respect. So I'm against the grain. I'm gonna just go with money.
I like that. I like that you switched it up because all of us have said respect. So I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
The
A lot of times we don't respect people that don't look a certain way or don't have certain things, or just overall anything. And I feel like money lasts longer than respect. Somebody will lose respect for you off of the fact that you don't drive a certain car. You don't. They'll lose respect off of you quick. But one thing for sure, that money will last. So money. Give me
Okay, I like it.
money.
Okay, Marilyn, what is the biggest misconception about you?
Um, Misconception. So that's funny. I really don't have a bunch of misconceptions. However, I did ask around to my peers and people that know me, like, what is a misconception you think that I have, or you had of me? Some people would say like, I got bougie or like a diva, and right now my money ain't bougie. So I really feel like, bougie, first of all, is a middle class term. Middle class to low class call, like to throw the word bougie out. And bougie is not, everyone's definition is different. Some people think if I eat at certain restaurants, I'm bougie. Or if I wear makeup, I'm bougie. And it's like, no, like for me, no, like you're bougie if you literally dispose of homes every year and you just kind of like, you're able to really move different. But again, the term bougie is a very middle class to low class term. I've been called diva because I am intentional about the way I look. I take baths. I have good hygiene. I am intentional when I get dressed. Even with the baseball cap, because I love baseball caps.
She does.
I look still kind of, I look polished and put together. And so people consider that also diva. Again, I think it's a very low class definition. So those are the terms and misconceptions people would love to think I am bougie or diva. I'm
No,
not.
you are the best bougie diva I know. I appreciate you
And then
for
another,
taking care of yourself.
absolutely. And then another one, again, you learn things about yourself. Well, not quite, but you learn things about what people, assume. I've been called, out of my name by a very few people because, again, they think that I think that I am, you know, my normal self, but they think that I think I'm better than people. And really, I'm the most relatable person you could ever meet. So yeah, those misconceptions are definitely misconceptions because
They
I,
are.
eh,
Because you're really a sweetheart.
yeah,
But they don't know. It's okay.
it's
Thank you
okay.
for clearing that up for the
Yes.
dummies in the back.
Uh,
Um, that's no judgment zone. I like that segment piece that you did. So tell me your guilty pleasure.
Ice. I love ice, chewing ice. I love my new twist is I love putting fresh lemon squeeze on ice, and just it gives it like a sour but yet like um a good taste. So chewing ice. I am, this is crazy, but my man and I, we travel. We don't post it, but we travel to like out of state for the weekend. We'll go like we've flown to Texas just to eat dinner because we wanted to try, to eat at a certain restaurant because he is a foodie, a big time foodie, and also chef. So
Yes.
very, trying to, establish my palate. So we guilty pleasure is like now it's a thing. Like we'll drive and or, fly out somewhere just to eat or try something and then come back. Like sometimes one time it's the same day.
That's
Um,
good. I like that.
yeah, it's fun. But it's definitely a guilty pleasure. It has become a guilty pleasure. But definitely Ice. And then lately, I just finished Stranger Things. I'm not a TV
Okay.
person. I don't like
I'm
TV like
shocked, but okay.
yes. I don't like TV like that. So Stranger Things, I have started and completed that. And then of course anything 50 cents. Anything, any of his shows, Power, you know, BMF, which
I
is so
can't even ask you because it's a question, but power.
so yeah, like I like that. Like again, I'm not a TV person. I'm not even if somebody says, "Hey, watch this," I'm like, "No, I'm good. I don't want to. I don't want to. I'm not a TV person."
And you
But
usually are, and I know that to get you to watch something, I have to call you and sell it.
you
So you
do.
got to sell it first.
You have to sell it. Like it has to be something like. But again, yeah, those are my guilty. They have become my guilty pleasures. But definitely ice chewing.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start picking up on one. I already chew ice, so I'm gonna have to start traveling to eat.
Yeah, just to go get something to eat.
That sounds
Fly
fun.
out and come
That
back. And it's
sounds fun.
definitely yeah, it's cheap. You can go
Yeah.
in Texas. We went to Texas for literally like a weekend. That particular time we went to Orlando for one day. Like we literally flew to Orlando, came back, same day. Like
Yeah.
that
Why not?
lunch and then that night. I mean,
Why
it's just
not?
why
Why not?
not? Guilty pleasure.
Okay. So culture check. Nino Brown or G Money?
I'm against the grain type chick.
There
So
she
everyone
go.
always says Nino. Everyone
We
always says
do.
Nino. I'm against the grain. I'm gonna definitely go with G Money. Again, being a leader, being a boss, we're only as good as our team. And I feel like G Money definitely put Nino in position to really be Nino, to be able to fulfill Nino, being at his side, his right hand man. And to be able to, now granted, that trust was broken, but I feel like Nino mishandled G Money and didn't really utilize him with his full potential. And that's anyone. You can expect betrayal from anyone that you pretty much betray, and you don't put them in position, and you're selfish. Plus, Mr. Payne and I had the same birthday, July 7th, so I'm gonna definitely go with G Money for sure.
Okay,
G
G
Money
Money.
carried BM. What is it? What was it? Cash Money, C Cash Money Brothers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
The
carried that. Like I said, until some things happen. But
okay.
if Nino was true and loyal, just as loyal to G Money, G Money could have been that he could have put G Money in a better position as a leader, as a boss, and he didn't. So definitely G Money.
Okay. Okay, Marilyn, you doing it. So with that being said, boss, what's your biggest flex?
Biggest flex. Let me say this. With flexing, I think I do everything I'm supposed to do. I don't think it's anything like it doesn't matter how many degrees a person, for me, a person has, how many states, how many out of country trips they've done, how much money you have in the bank, how whatever. I think we do exactly what we should do. And to me, that's not a flex. That's just, you setting goals, expectations for yourself and completing them. I think, it's some level of big headedness to feel like, something great like a degree or several degrees is a flex. I think, that's what you set out to do and you fulfilled it, and that's great. Being a great mom, that's not a flex. That's something that every mom should be, every parent should do and be. Running successful businesses, if you started it, it should be successful if you actually, birth it properly and nurture it. So I don't have anything that I could say is a flex for me because I do exactly what I should do.
Well, I'll tell you, you're the flex. There you go.
Woo.
So I ride around with you in your car often in the morning to our morning chats. Yay!
Yes, you do.
But the culture doesn't. So they would like to know what three songs are on your current playlist. What are your top three that your go-to songs?
So, and I guess I'll tell stories about this because it's 21 questions, and I'm gonna really let you guys in. One of my songs that I play every single day, every day at some point is Case Missing You. That song, um, during the time of, gosh, I should have brought tissue.
Oh, me too.
Jesus. Anyway, we
Take
can
your
say Case.
time.
Yeah, we can say Case. That song was, of course, a song for. Um, I felt like it was about myself and my man. During the time that we try to, separate years ago. So that and Trina, of course, anything Trina,
Anything, Trina,
anything Trina.
guys.
I need that. I need something Trina to, like, the bad is definitely like something that gets me going. And then of course I have to have some type of gospel. So like Mary Mary or BB and CC because I'm old school.
Hmm.
So something like that because of course, just like, oh, hold on, and Jay-Z, definitely Jay-Z. So that's four.
Yeah, that's four, but he definitely in rotation, and I already know
For sure. For
that.
sure. I love Jay-Z. Like everyone knows me, knows I love Jay-Z. So yeah, Jay-Z. For
So
sure.
people that don't know you, that don't watch the podcast, and I don't know
Mm,
why, but hopefully after today, getting to know you, they'll be like, I want to like, subscribe, and share.
right.
But we went to a high school that was not predominantly African American, and we were able to be a part of something that was the first ever
Okay.
for our culture. And
Okay.
because it is Culture Club, let's talk about it. You were a part of a step squad in which it was the first one at your school,
Right.
and it was predominantly for the African American girls to feel a part of, not typically being a cheerleader. What did that mean to you?
That meant everything. I think that particular year that we decided, I think it was like 92, 93. I'm telling my age. But that was everything because we went to a predominantly white school. It was very much like a minimal amount of African Americans and or minorities at the school. It was known and even structured for it to be that way until, of course, the working class, middle class African American families started to move into that area. And then, of course, their children attended that school. Um, and then, of course, us as high school girls, we wanted to be a part of the cheerleading squad. We just wanted to cheer, as the other schools, the surrounding schools had cheerleaders that looked like us. And a lot of us didn't make it on this when we auditioned. We didn't make it. I think it was two or three of us that made it. Um, but a lot of us didn't make it. And so um we got together as a whole, and again it was just a handful of us. We got together because some of the other high schools were with step squads, and so we got together and we formulated like a plan. One of our step squad members had a sister that had a step squad in college, and she became our what is she, our leader,
Our coach.
our coach, and she became our coach, and she we practiced, we got permission, and we killed it. Like, I mean, we were the highlight of the school, even outshining the cheerleaders because
Yes,
we brought a
ma'am.
different style, of different taste, and a different level of school camaraderie and team camaraderie, like camaraderie. So we really made history. We made the newspaper.
Like,
Um,
legitly.
we made the newspaper. We went to the universities and Step Squad. We created our T-shirts, in which I still have my T-shirt.
Right.
Yeah, and we really did make history. Especially the original
Yes.
Step Squad. It was probably about, what I would say, 12 of us, and
Yep.
that was like pretty much the most of the African American students, women, girl students in the school. So we really made history. We really shine, and it's definitely something. I don't believe that they had that today at the high school.
I
Um,
don't think so. I'm gonna look into
no,
it.
I think they like kind of for the last, I think, 7 years after us, they continue with it, and then I guess they stopped. But we definitely made history. And we were like core parts of that history, core parts of that
We
history.
were.
So yeah,
Shout
that was
out to
great.
Miss Adams. Thank you
Shout out
so
to Miss
much.
Abbott.
Oh,
Abbott.
Miss Abbott. Why did I say Adams?
Cause me.
Look, there's a bling bling. So let's see. How do you usually spend your downtime when you're not working, podcasting, when it's just you?
I don't have downtime. Like I just the downtime. Okay, so if I am sitting still, if I'm sitting still, I am like looking at ideas, creating like a promo, reading emails, organizing, because I'm big on organization and cleanliness of stuff. So doing different things like that for my personal businesses, and of course the podcast, as well as my spinoff. Um, just it's really no downtime, and it's something that I hope to really kind of learn to do, to have
Me
downtime.
too. I hope
Yeah,
you learn how to do it.
because as a child, when I grew up, my family, I come from a very, very strong um, background of women. And we worked. Even if we didn't physically punch a clock, we worked the home. And so to have a day off or to lay in the bed for an extra hour, that's lazy. That's to be lazy. So I always carried that guilt um to not do that. So I don't really ever really have downtime. Like I really don't. Even like my man, he always says like when we're riding in the car, we're taking a drive, or we're going to Tennessee or whatever, like just to drive, and I'm on my phone, and he's like, please enjoy the time, enjoy the scenery, enjoy the
Right. Look
moment.
around.
Yeah, enjoy the moment, because if I'm not getting phone calls, text messages, emails, um, I'm not enjoying. I'm always like working, doing something. So that's something I'm gonna have to learn. Like, I'm committed to doing so. So
We're gonna work on
I
you.
get
We're gonna
there.
work. What's the best advice you've ever been given?
No one's gonna save you. Work harder. Like, stop complaining. Um, no one is gonna come for you and do it for you. Ever since I was in high school, um, my parents totally and was capable of paying my high school graduation and dues and um, fees, and they didn't, because again, I'm coming from a family on both sides of like hard workers, integrity, hard work, making your way, because I'm not going to always be here or be your way. And I never had a problem with that. That's one thing I can say about myself. I for all my life, well, besides being a child, but I take care of myself. Even after I was, when I was married, I still took care of myself. I had always worked, always had sources of income. I never fully depend on anybody. And I never look for handouts, period. Never. Everyone needs help. That's true in fact. However, I feel like, at some point, the handouts, some people start to get entitled and greedy. So I always, again, I'm against the grain type person. I'm not the average, I guess, woman or person. I'm going to work hard. So no one's coming to save you. Work harder.
Okay.
Yep.
So because we're podcasters, kind of new to it, I had to almost like pull your teeth out to make you do it. No, I'm
Please don't.
kidding.
I pay a lot of money.
I'm kidding. Um, Someone asked a question with us being new to the podcasting world.
Okay.
So this is gonna go to you, and
Okay.
I'll answer it another day. Since you're into podcasting, have you ever dealt with cyberbullying, and if so, how did you deal with it?
So y'all know I did. Y'all all know I've dealt with the cyber bully. Um, y'all know I did. Swagger magazine highlighted that article. Shout out to Swag her. The article that they had on me. to discuss my coming to social media. Before coming to social media, I was never a social media chick. Again, I come from a family that did not uh, record or document life events. Barely took pictures. Like barely to take a picture is like that's incriminating. You just don't do it. So when I came to social media, it was very much obviously in my 40s, and I came to support my cousins, and I came during a time of I was pending a divorce of 16 years, and really coming to social media for me really kind of helped me kind of escape in a sense to be able to kind of see you guys every day, or every time, more so than the FaceTimes we did on our daily calls. So it gave us a different connection, but my intention to come on social media was like genuine. I was here to just have a fun time for a short time. And so coming in, someone obviously, because it's a very small world of social media, I guess identified me, came and found me and got me and started dragging me about um, 90% of lies. Only 10% was true. True indeed. In fact, thank God it's no double jeopardy, right? That's coming soon, double jeopardy. But yeah, so just the defamation of character. Um, and again, it's all online. It was nothing in real life, which I'm about that real life.
Me
Again, I was
too.
never a social media chick, but I'm about that real life. By myself. I could stand and function
And
and thrive by myself. I
but
don't
people
need
don't know
nobody.
that about you because you're so quiet.
Yeah, I don't need an audience. I don't need I mean, I have my cousins and my family, trust me. And I've always never had to really like do anything. My family would come and be like, hold up. However,
Hold up, wait a minute.
I'm built for it. I'm built for
You are.
taking care of myself. I am, period. I'm very built for it and I'm good with it. I'm not nervous in confrontations. None of that. Like, so, and again, that's what good leaders are. That's natural. That's a trait of a good leader. But the cyberbullying started. It was like maybe a docu series of like I said, 90% of lies, but 10% was true. It was true. Of course, that really affected my mental health. That really had a good effect on my mental health, and I am mentally attractive. So that really I didn't understand, but I understood. And then at some point I felt like I deserved it. So a lot of it I like gave it a pass because I'm like, you know what? Everyone reacts different. Let me just, allow this person to get it out. And I felt like I deserved it, really. And it continued. Again, it was a docu series, and but like I said, it was a lot of lies, a lot. And that's when I knew, like, in addition to it being brought to my attention, that yeah, I had to kind of put it to bed. And I got a legal team that got in touch with a particular judge, and I mean, my legal team was even disgusted. Um, Legal team is in two attorneys. Like that's how serious. Because one attorney couldn't even bear to hear the entire conversation that was put online. They were disgusted after 5 minutes. He was just like, "This is." He said, in his words exact, "Who really listens to this person?" Like, and he was just so disgusted that he had to add an additional attorney so that attorney could in turn pretty much create transcript of what was being said because it was just excessive.
Yes, I would
And
say
they
excessive was a good word.
and again, I seriously, I couldn't even listen to,
I
I couldn't
know.
even, after like 2 minutes, I was sent these transcripts and information. I couldn't even listen to it. I couldn't even, because it was just so disgusting. And like I said, I have a guilty conscience. I am human, and I'm, again, check my roots. check both family lines. I come from good stock, good, respectable stock. My families are known. And so, decisions I made, of course, I take full responsibility. However, I'm not going to allow someone to stone me. The Bible says, confess with your mouth to me. And all I had to do was confess and ask God for forgiveness. And He's God. So, I know man can't put me in a heaven or hell. So I had to really get to a point in my life to really feel okay with, you know, what someone else thinks is their problem.
Right.
If you made it right with God, and, again, even my ex-husband, he it hurt him so bad, so bad, the situation, but he even gave me forgiveness and grace. So with that said, that cyberbullying is ugly, especially, hey, especially when in fact the person that is doing it, doesn't even know you, and then they're hatefully creating this mob of lies. And again, it's all just on social
It's
media
all documented.
and
Dummy.
yeah, phone records, everything is all again, I'm a businesswoman, period. So,
Right.
everything, I document everything and pull everything. But yeah.
Right. And once you go to social media route, it's there. It doesn't go away. So
No, but it definitely was only cyberbullying. It was never anything physically.
so Culture Club.
Okay. That's not a question. Okay, so this is not a question.
Hmm.
Culture Club. Culture Club is Culture Club Conversations is um my that was a part of my healing. Um Culture Club is with every cousin is my favorite cousin.
For real, she's not lying. I swear. she
Every
talks.
cousin is my
She
favorite cousin.
talks to all of us
All of
faithfully,
my
just
cousins.
about daily.
Yes.
Like
Like,
for real. I know this
I
for
think
a
I'm
fact.
everyone's favorite cousin.
That is true.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
is
Like,
true. Because
everyone's
we all
favorite.
talk to you every day.
Yeah. And I have a lot of cousins, a lot of cousins. So I'm like everyone's favorite cousin. And at some point, I talk to my cousins. Um, I counsel, talk to, console. I'm there for my cousins because family is everything. Again, I grew up with family. And Culture Club was again, I said this before, something that we did as children that we decided to bring apart to social media just to even have conversations. Sometimes the content is not even real content, or a topic. We just talk, just as we would do over the phone. So, but we do bring great topics. We have had great guests, people that we actually know and love, to come onto the conversation. And Culture Club is definitely a different type of podcast. It's not a polished podcast.
At all.
And we don't plan for it to be polished. We plan for it to
Ever.
improve. But we want the rawness and realness of it, and it not be so scripted, and just it loses its flair when you start to kind of be more like reality TV.
Right.
But Culture Club is definitely amazing. I love Culture Club. Of course, I spend most of my time in the
Culture
bed
clubbing.
trying to culture club and create, just to do things for the culture. And it's beyond the cousins. It's definitely culture. It's definitely conversations that everyone needs to have. It's definitely a visual of how cousins and families should be. You know, us as cousins, I mean, we're not physically close, as far as living to, near each other. However, you and Vermin is, of course, but we are close, at heart. So, um, it's definitely a great representation of family. And that's important because, family is, for me, and the way I was raised, and the family is everything. Family is all you got.
Really.
Hmm. So that's
Really.
Culture Club to me.
So a little bit of what people probably been waiting for, because I'm asking all these questions like, okay, and you did mention in one of your answers something about an ex. So let's just get straight to
Okay.
it. Okay. A lot of people think that one day you just woke up and you weren't married anymore. Because I'm your cousin,
Mm-hmm.
I know that it didn't happen like that, and I know that you're very traditional and you took a lot of blows
Ooh,
from friends, from family, because you are very traditional. The way
Jesus.
you talk about God and everything, you are
Yes.
so traditional.
Yes.
So
Let me get my tissue. Okay.
I know for a fact that if it were up to the traditional values, you would have hung in there and dealt
Yeah.
with it and been whatever the case may
Mm-hmm.
be. I don't want to just say miserable because we don't know the full scope of what the marriage
That's
was.
accurate. That's accurate.
So, with that being said,
I'm gonna have to turn my camera off for this.
um, there are viewers out there who would stay because
Mm.
of what other people think. So, what made you go against the grain as you have done this whole entire episode? What made you go against the grain and decide to be like, you know what? The hell with tradition, the hell with the way I grew up, and just because you dealt with it in silence. You
Yeah,
dealt
of
with it
course.
in silence. You took
Of
the
course.
blows. You took every last blow. Me
Of
and
course.
Rem are probably the two of the people that know every time you took a blow, and it actually hurt us just as much.
Right.
So for the people out there that are taking the blows and
Right.
won't go, what
Yeah.
made you decide to stop taking them?
Well, you mentioned the word traditional. So like yes,
You're
definitely
very traditional.
very much, very much. Traditionally, of course, you are to get married to your friend, soulmate, the love of your life, right? I didn't do that. I didn't marry any of that, like any of those. Like my ex was none of those for me. For me, I married someone that I could build with the intention of him possibly being created to be my soulmate. Because again, I didn't think any of that stuff existed. I know the words and I know people that have testimonies of finding their soulmate, the love of their life, um, their what is it, person. I knew like it happened for others or it could happen for. I married a partner. I married someone that I could build with, that we could build together. And then if in fact I fall in love and figure out or realize he was a soulmate, bonus, right? That didn't happen for me. It didn't. And I'm being honest. Like, and it's crazy because I realized that after I felt like this is like really it. And I think maybe that was like 3 years in. Mind you, I was married for 16. So, and with him for 18. So I was like, okay, this will just be a great partnership. We're going to travel. We're going to make this money. We're going to buy houses. We're going to flip houses. We're going to move from Maryland, South Carolina to Texas because that was the plan, to Dubai because that was the plan. We just going to really run this life up, right? No, that does not work for me. Like, if you truly aren't in love with a person, and feel like this person is your person, do not settle. It is so disgusting. I'm gonna be honest with you, and you may, my family may be pissed off when I say what I'm about to say, but I broke this curse of being a married woman and just staying because that's what women that I know and seen in my family does. They get married and stay married, and then of course throughout the course of it isn't happy, infidelity, a bunch of other stuff, right? And they stay there because you know what? Too late now. We're married. Too late. Let's just run it up. Stay married forever. I didn't want that for myself. So of course, we've done a lot. My ex and I done a lot of stuff. Like we successful stuff. Like great stuff. Had some fun times, but he just was never my person. I even told him that. Like at year 5, I told him, I was like, dude, you're not my person. And so no, I just didn't wake up one day and leave. My ex, had a lot of stuff with him. A lot. And it was, infidelity, very much a trend of it. Um, yeah, he was infidelity, abuse, um, ongoing. Not like, oh, it was one time. Again, I don't exaggerate. But as a woman, because again, I'm from a very particular traditional, in some cases, family. As a woman, a real woman doesn't like blast their husband and blast their relationship, whether it goes good or bad, in a sense. So I kept all of that to myself because I feel like that's something for me to deal with. And I will deal with it better if I can keep it to myself and not have it shared with people that will influence me to prematurely do things that I wasn't ready to do. So I,
You made me cry because I'm gonna cut you off real quick because you did keep a lot of it to yourself, and we found out when she was going through it. Like we didn't know that she was going through a lot of that stuff. So when she said she just dealt with it, she really did.
had to cut my camera off.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do it. You started it. But
Oh
she
wow, that was
really
very much.
you
So
really
yeah,
dealt with a lot, and we learned what you went through when you were fed up, when you got tired. So
yeah, I was tired, and for the love of me, I believe in every relationship. You know, whether no matter how it looks, you should have boundaries. You should love yourself.
yes.
You should
Yes.
love yourself. And
Yes.
so many people say, "Oh, I was miserable the entire marriage," but yet the other person left. So it's like, no, you weren't miserable. They were.
Right. They
Of course,
were.
yeah. Like, let's stop playing games here. Um, and it's not about who pulls out first. It's not about that. Who pulls out, who leaves, who files, any of that. It's
Right.
about knowing when to, put the period at the end of things. And again, that's creating boundaries. That's self-love.
Mhm.
Um, you know, if I didn't leave my ex for someone else at all. Again, like I said, I knew at 5 years married, I was gonna roll out.
Mhm.
I just
Mhm.
didn't know when. However, throughout that marriage, we kept building as partners, not as like as my love, as partners. We were building, making great decisions. We had children. We had, a lot of things that we felt like we had to be successful with, and our children was definitely um, first for me, making sure our children was okay and graduated from college, high school. I try to wait out all of that. And I decided to roll because I was tired. I was tired. Um, and I needed to. And again, it
Mhm.
was not for another individual at all. That individual was a bonus. A
Con-
bonus.
so contrary to the belief, into the next question.
Okay.
Some people tend to think that you left for someone else because this person kind of coincided to the healing process,
Yes.
because I know that because I'm your
Mm,
cousin.
Jesus.
But how did you handle the negativity that came from your ex because he thought you left him for
I'm gonna
someone
tell you
else?
something, man. I'm gonna tell you something. It takes a sick individual to feel like you make decisions solely because it's not them. I don't like non accountability. My ex, at one point, at a good point, he totally just wanted to make it seem like he could not identify with why. Um, as far as him, he didn't take accountability. And then, of course, he then started to email me, text me, and write me hand letters. Um, admitting his accountability, saying, I understand. I see why. He even like gave his blessing after having a deep conversation, a ugly conversation for him. He gave his blessing for me to continue my life with my man now. Because he knew, like he knows the type of woman I am, and he knows that I don't jump. Like I'm not a, I gotta have a man. I gotta be with someone. I gotta. So he he like gave me, and not that I needed his permission, but again, he knows the type of woman I am, and
I can
so
hear you. I can hear you. Somebody started calling, so just keep talking.
it's okay. So yeah, he gave me, the green light and said, I can see why, you chose him. I can see why you're happy with him. And again, my relationship, my marriage was solely on a partnership and money and finances. It wasn't on love. And like I said, I'm a woman. I can take care of myself. And, and
Okay.
and my mom, I'm sure my mom is on here, and she can confirm. I take care of myself, my kids, and my mother. My mother was able to retire and come to South Carolina with us because I took time.
Amen.
So yeah, I'm that girl in real life. In real life. And I'm not, again, I don't,
You
that's
are.
not a flex. That's what I'm supposed to do.
You are. So being as though your ex finally gave you like the word, like, okay, I'm good. I know what kind of woman I had, blah blah blah. What
Right.
advice would you give your ex's new person if that person said, "Give me a piece of advice"?
I wouldn't give her no advice. I'm not giving her no advice. Um, I'm just not. Again, I'm not that type of woman. I'm not going to tell another woman how to feel about a marriage that did not work with me and her now man. Because that just simply doesn't, that's none of her business. Um, but as a new woman, I would totally want to know, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if even if she came to me and said, "Hey, Todd, tell me all about it," or tell me,
Okay.
what?
So the culture doesn't know, but I know. Your man
Yes,
has an ex,
yes.
and because of the legality portions of it, I'll say it.
No double jeopardy coming
That
soon.
was
Go
the
ahead.
that was the cyberbullying person. How did you handle to know whether you should have engaged or disengaged? Because you did a lot of disengaging, and I kudos to you, applause to you because you took it the legal route.
Yeah.
I'm not such a legal girl. So
Mm-hmm.
how did you what made you decide whether you were going to engage with her mental cyberbullying abuse or just disengage and go the legal route?
So Jay-Z said something in one of his raps before. He said, be careful when before you go arguing with like a clown, because from a distance, somebody wouldn't know which one was the clown and which one wasn't, right? I paraphrased that. But I as much as I wanted to, it really, real like again, that's another misconception. That's a misconception that I'm just not that girl. I'm that girl.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
really, again, that's DNA, right? That's genetics. Like I'm that girl. But as an adult that has things to lose, and really like I always tell my man, like, you know, I'm just thankful that I know God. I'm really thankful that I know God. Now, granted, God forgives, but I'm really thankful because at the end of the day, He's the only one that can punish me, and I will be a fool to partake in creating the docu series back in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I had to take it legal because my name was actually being like, like said. It's one thing to like, be hurt. I get it. God knows I get it. And you know what? For that, I apologize. I never wanted to hurt anybody. I did not sit at home, you know, and my man could tell you, he didn't even want to. This our relationship. We didn't. Neither of us wanted it. We didn't. We went without talking, like trying to go without talking. We try to work on our marriages just so that we wouldn't, um, because we were friends. It started as a friendship, like a sincere friendship, nothing, no funny business. But I felt like I had to take it legal because it was getting out of control. And you know what they say, like, you can't take someone's kindness because them not engaging in such way as a weakness. And social media and the city is too small to like really it's a lot of I know about people. Let's just keep it at that. But I'm not gonna ever throw it out there.
Right.
I'm
And you don't.
I'm not. I'm never gonna like, throw it back at somebody to say, hey, you did the same thing. You did the same thing. Because again, the Bible says a sin is a sin. So, but again, I had to take it legal. Um, because again, I just it was out of control. It was very much out of
It
control.
was.
It was very much mentally draining for me.
It was.
Mentally draining for me. And it's really bad for business. Yeah.
So, with that being said, you're divorced now. You got a new man. What does real love feel like to you?
Feels like a vacation. It feels like a slumber party every single night. It feels like having a best friend. Um, it feels
Well,
like mm,
I know you making me cry. Like I want all of that. I'm sorry because I know while she's getting herself together, culture. I know how she was and who she is now. So I know that now, not to say us cousins weren't paying her any attention, but she did a good job with selling her marriage. So she sold it enough to not have everybody worry about her. But to see her now, she's truly different. She's very much so happy. And like she said in one of her answers, she didn't intend for the relationship to happen. Neither one of them did, and we all know that. But it
we didn't
happened,
want
and
it.
it's
We didn't
it's
want it.
it's
Like we really
beautiful.
didn't.
I
We
love
didn't want
watching
it.
it.
We didn't want it. Like again, we didn't. We had obligations to people. Um, we had obligations to God. You know, and we didn't want to hurt people. Period. Period. And the whole time we were protecting hurting people, we were hurting ourselves, like really.
Mm-hmm.
And I totally believe God does not make mistakes, and he just doesn't. It's too much. Like I can't even sit on here because now these 21 questions is not fun. It's like totally I'm so emotional
Well,
because
guess what? Guess what? That was the last one. We
oh
about to
good.
hype it up. We almost done.
Good.
I didn't know. Culture, I
Yes.
didn't
It's,
know.
it's, it's because true love, like really
Yes.
having true love with no
Yeah, it's
like
a
I'm
different
not it's
feeling.
I'm not in it for money. I'm not in it for fame. It's a lot that he and I don't share social media wise. Like we do things, go places, um, have parties, go to parties, and we don't share it because again, I'm not that girl.
And
I really believe
everything
in
you've
enjoying
been
the
through.
moment.
Yeah, everything you've been through already, you don't need to share it.
Yeah, I just don't like. I've never been that girl. Not that I don't. I'm afraid. Like, cause again, life is great. Like, really, when you find your person, I never thought I had a person for me. And again,
Yeah,
I never cared because I don't. I'm not a.
I thought that stuff
A
was fake
man
too.
needed woman. Like
Yeah,
granted, the right man I need my man, but he's just so good to me.
he
He's
is.
so good to me.
He is.
Every single day, he's good to me. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
culture, that was the portion that I
Thank
didn't know it
God.
was gonna go there. But let's lighten the mood back up because we got a
Please.
few more questions and then we are done.
This is the most crying. It's 21 questions I didn't have. What the
But you
heck?
know what? I love it because you told me that I could ask whatever I want and that you was gonna answer
I
it.
knew I should go
So I
ahead.
love
Okay.
it. Boy mom life, one word.
You said what?
Boy mom life, one word.
Rewarding. Rewarding.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. What's for everyone that does not watch the show, and by now I still don't know why because I keep telling you to like, share, and subscribe. What is your finger roll meaning?
So if you don't watch the show, that's fine, or the conversation, that's fine. Um, I ever since probably about 2, 3 decades ago, I'm animated. Period. Like I'm just like I have my own, and I do. I have my own type of language talk.
She
Ever
does.
since high school, ever since people that know me from back in the day, even when I was like young, I've always been just a ball of fun. Like this girl
Always.
crazy, but it's like crazy, but yet they know what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when people, our culture, right? So when people say like, hey, how you doing? You looking good? Or and they point, right? They point like, yeah. So I, of course, always would do that. Like, but then, of course, the flair of me, I decided to start twirling it and then dotting it because I'm, just that
Mm-hmm.
Marilyn Monroe feminine touch.
Right.
So yeah, I always I've done that for almost 3 decades. I think it's kind of funny. It's
It
catchy.
is. It is very
People
catchy.
love it.
You
People
even
really love
had
it.
on your last 21 questions, you had King from One Mind did the finger
Yes, I
roll, and I
did.
was like,
I did.
bruh, did you just hit the finger roll?
I
He did.
did.
He did.
I
He did that.
did.
So
Woo!
what's next for Maryland? We know that Maryland has Culture Club with another segment from Swag Her magazine. You got
Yeah.
anything else you got up your sleeve?
No. Double Jeopardy. That's next.
Okay.
Um, that's a segment. Um, Basically, it's you can't charge anybody for what one they admit to they weren't found guilty of, or it wasn't recognized in court legally for it to be a thing. Nor can you put me in a heaven or hell. So no double jeopardy for sure. But I'm gonna be honest with you. What's next for Maryland? My new year begins July 7th of this year. And I thought long and hard about, just things. And I want to get back to giving my businesses my full attention. And so I will be probably retiring social media for sure. Real talk, real shit. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
And the
So I'm
last
gonna keep going
question.
hard though until then. And if something else opens up,
Hard
it
in the paint.
does.
So the last question. You
We're 21.
survived. You did it. We did 21. You don't even realize that you did 21 because for one, this is the longest 21 questions ever because you sold the hell out of yourself. So
Oh
bravo for
no,
that. And it was emotional. So we about to
it was.
if you could leave the culture with one lesson that you have learned, what is it?
Love yourself. Like really, be okay with yourself. A lot of times we jump into situations, relationships, businesses, a whole bunch of stuff to cover up or to suppress not really truly valuing and loving yourself. We work extra hard. We stay late. Um, we, we to others too much. We, whatever we sing it away, we dance it away, like Solange says. Um, but a lot of times we really that's to cover up the fact that you can't really deal with certain things for yourself. And it's important to really love yourself, to understand yourself, to be good with yourself. Because if in fact you're really not good with yourself, you really can't I mean, you do, people do, but you really can't respect and love others. You can't, you're no good to your children. You're no good to your job. You're no good to your other significant other. Um, you're just not. And the best thing you could do is to love yourself. Learn to love yourself. If you don't already know how to love yourself. So yeah, love yourself for sure.
Well, culture, thank you guys for tuning in. This has been a great episode of 21 Questions. Me as the host who had no idea how to do it, but I freaking think I
Yes,
freestyle pretty well.
you did.
Thank you, Marilyn, for coming on and giving the culture a little bit more of you, because you always give us less, because less is more. And that's what I like about you, because you are the silent type.
I am.
But
I think silence is really power. You know, a lot of
yes.
times you can't really, like, as much as I talk on this podcast, I don't really, I'm not, I talk behind the podcast, but like if I'm really, I don't say too much.
But
I
this
don't
is
do too,
but that's the thing. This is our podcast. This is what you're supposed to do on
right.
it. Like if you
Yeah,
just
but I
sat
don't do
there
too,
and you were quiet, we'd be like, "What's wrong with her?"
yes.
But
I don't
before
do too
you
much.
leave, we're gonna let you do what every other guest does. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Make sure you find me, the real Marilyn Monroe 7 on TikTok. I'm there. I post most content on TikTok, whether it's like ratchet rapping lyrics of Trina, or something crazy. Most of my like most genuine, raw, authentic content is on TikTok. I try to like keep it cute on what is it? Facebook,
Facebook.
and then a little bit on Instagram. But if you really want to see who Marilyn Monroe is, because Marilyn Monroe is Ty, that's me, make sure you look at me on TikTok. I'm also on Instagram as Marilyn Monroe, or the real Marilyn Monroe, and then on Facebook, Ty MD Monroe, because they was hating on me, and not letting me put Marilyn Monroe. So yeah, find me there, and my man is here. Um,
Hi.
my man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my
That
man.
he
What
came. He came.
most people also don't know is we live separately, but we live also have a place together. So we have, yeah. So he just came over.
Okay. Well, on that note, perfect timing. He must have been watching the episode. Thank you for liking and sharing and
Yes, he
subscribing.
yes.
So I love you so much, cousin. Thank you so much for opening up to the culture
You made me
tonight.
cry.
I know, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. But tell your man now he gotta take you out and get you a present.
He
Happy
got to.
birthday!
He got to.
You need a
Thank y'all
gift.
so much.
Love
I'm going to
you.
TikTok. So if y'all like still up for it, I'm going to TikTok, and my man gonna join me.
Yay! Love you, cousin.
Love you.